political leaders assembled. A power-packed political presence at you've got union ministers, chief ministers and top opposition heavyweights all under one roof. And the biggest names in business, finance and industry are going to be taking the stage. From AI to infrastructure, MSME to global giants, India's economic roadmap is going to be unveiled. A 7.7 magnitude earthquake hit Thailand and neighboring Myanmar, prompting a state of emergency in Bangkok. Though potential casualties have not been reported yet, that number very well could go up. Tune in for some of those exclusive shots and visuals. In the state of Tamil Nadu, during its first General Council meeting, TVK has passed 17 resolutions, and these include resolution against the three-language policy, proposed delimitation, and the Waqf Amendment Bill as well. The Apex Court has dismissed petition seeking FIR against Justice Yashwant Verma over the alleged illicit cash at his official premises case. Meanwhile, clashes erupt between security and the pro-monarchy activists in Kathmandu in Nepal, demanding the restoration of monarchy and the Hindu kingdom status. And West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee, during her address at the Oxford University, was interrupted by a group of protesting students raising issues of post-poll violence in the state and the RG Kaur college scandal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is a big day for the TV9 network because today our network will present the most defining event of the year. A platform where India's biggest minds, you've got policy architects, business moguls and thought leaders, they're going to be converging to shape the national and the global discourse. Here's a quick sneak peek at what one can expect. What does this summit have in store for all the viewers? Take a look and we'll catch you right on the flip side. Well, that's right. This is TV9's What India Thinks Today Summit, the most powerful thought fest of 2025, bringing you face to face with the ideas, the debates and the decisions that will shape the future of India and India in this new world order. Let's break it down. Let's tell you all about it, the event and its magnitude, because this year we take over the Grand Bharat Mandapam, the very heart of India's biggest summits, for 2 days of high-octane discussions, groundbreaking insights and unfiltered conversations. And at the very center of this power-packed conclave, and you've got the timer running on your screen somewhere, is a historic keynote session by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi himself. You know what? Before we move on and really tell you about the magnitude of this event, what's the agenda, what can you expect? Listen in to what Prime Minister Modi said in the previous edition of the TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit.
मैं अक्सर भारत की डाइवर्सिटी की चर्चा करता रहता हूं। इस डाइवर्सिटी को TV9 का न्यूज रूम, आपकी रिपोर्टिंग टीम में बखूबी वो नजर आता है, ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है। टीवी 9 के अनेक भारतीय भाषाओं में मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं। आप भारत की वाइब्रेंट डेमोक्रेसी, उसके प्रतिनिधि भी हैं। मैं अलग अलग राज्यों में, अलग अलग भाषाओं में टीवी 9 में काम करने वाले सभी पत्रकार साथियों का, आपकी टेक्निकल टीम का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं। साथियों, आज टीवी 9 की टीम ने इस समिट के लिए बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक चुना है। इंडिया पोइज्ड फॉर द नेक्स्ट बिग लीप। और बिग लीप तो हम तभी ले सकते हैं जब हम जोश में हो, ऊर्जा से भरे हुए हो। कोई हताश, निराश देश हो या व्यक्ति बिग लीप के बारे में सोच ही नहीं सकता। ये थीम ही अपने आप में ये बताने के लिए काफी है कि आज का भारत का आत्मविश्वास किस ऊंचाई पर है, आकांक्षा क्या है। अगर आज दुनिया को लगता है कि भारत एक बड़ा लीप लेने के लिए तैयार है, तो उसके पीछे 10 साल का एक पावरफुल लॉन्च पैड है। तो 10 वर्ष में ऐसा क्या बदला कि आज हम यहां पहुंचे हैं। ये बदलाव माइंडसेट का है, ये बदलाव सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस और ट्रस्ट का है, ये बदलाव गुड गवर्नेंस का, सुशासन का। साथियों, एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है, मन के हारे हार है, मन के जीते जीत।
Well, moments and minutes from now, you're going to be hearing from the main man yet again, the keynote summit speech by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. And under Prime Minister Modi's leadership, India has emerged as a formidable force in this new world order, a world that is shifting continuously away from the traditional power blocks to this multi-aligned, mini-lateral future, an idea rooted in India's vision. And like we've been telling you all, when what India thinks, the world listens. This global narrative is being rewritten, and at this summit, the TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit, we decode India's role in shaping this new reality that's going to be our home for the next coming years. From diplomacy to democracy, from innovation to infrastructure, from economic powerhouses to social transformation, even every critical conversation is going to be happening under one roof at the Bharat Mandapam. And the fun doesn't end there, because let's also tell you about the political galaxy in attendance. We've got this national agenda, and what's a national agenda without the actual power players? Brace yourselves for the most electrifying gathering of India's political heavyweights. We've got union ministers, chief ministers, top opposition leaders, all under one roof, setting the agenda for 2025 and beyond. Names like Nitin Gadkari, the man driving India's infrastructure revolution, Piyush Goyal, the force behind India's global trade ambitions, and Ashwini Vaishnav, the man he needs no introduction himself. Bhupendra Yadav, chief ministers of several states, and of course the top opposition voices. Firebrand leader from Bihar, that's also poll bound, Tejashwi Yadav, he's going to be in attendance. Leader of opposition in the upper house of the parliament, the Rajya Sabha, Mallikarjun Kharge, is also going to be in attendance. And like you can see, live visuals from Bharat Mandapam on your screens as the dignitaries, the MD and CEO of the TV9 network. You also have the all-time director of the network over there. Everybody is now continuously beginning to grace this occasion. As you see, they're going to be taking their seats shortly. About 3,000 people in the at this point in time, and what's more special is that TV9 has continuously been upping the ante. The second edition of this very summit was held in Stuttgart in Germany, with union ministers sitting with their German counterparts, a conversation that nobody's ever seen before. And this time around, it's Bharat Mandapam. It's a global coverage of a different level altogether. This is going to be beamed live. That's right, in 5 different countries across the world. In its true sense, this is the global summit, the TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit.
तो तारे चमकने लगे हैं इस शाम पर।
बिल्कुल, सितारे तो चमक रहे हैं, लेकिन
And I have with me Mr. Rahul Bharti of Maruti. I'm going to get a quick chat with you. Talk to us. Your association with TV9 has been absolutely fascinating. From Maruti, from one summit to after the other, and today is a very special occasion, isn't it, to be here?
Hi India, it's so happy to be here. This is Rahul from Maruti Suzuki, and we have our managing director, Mr. Takeuchi, also. And it's great to be with TV9.
Right, thank you so much for being with us. Surbhi?
कृष्णा, आई एम अगेन फिगरिंग आउट अ गुड प्लेस फॉर मी, बिकॉज उस तरफ तो मैं ऑडियंस के बीच में चली गई. अब मैं इस तरफ आ रही हूँ, जहाँ पर मैं एक बार फिर से युवाओं के साथ साथ उन एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ बात करना चाहती हूँ, और ये जानना चाहते हैं कि भारत जिस तरीके से प्रगति कर रहा है उसमें व्हाट इंडिया थिंक्स टुडे. Okay.
We're going to continuously play that out, but there's a lot more to discuss and decode, because you see those kids in the auditorium as well. It's a great opportunity for at least 30 of those Indian tigers and tigresses, a News 9 hunt, one of India's biggest, to really select. We had 50,000 registrations, 10,000 kids were shortlisted, about 3,000 girls, 7,000 boys. These are all below the age of 17. It seems like a little bit of interaction happening with some of those school kids as well. Let's listen into this really cool crowd work that's going on at the Bharat Mandapam.
कृष्णा, माइक सामने आते ही बस मुस्कुराते ही रहे, मुस्कुराते ही जा
तो
रहे.
अच्छी बात है ना, बहुत लोग माइक से डरते हैं. मुस्कुरा रहे हैं तो अच्छी बात है.
मुस्कुरा रहे तो अच्छी बात है, लेकिन अपना उसी जोश को अपने अंदाज में बयां तो करें. तो बताइए, कौन करना चाहता है किसी खास अंदाज में? हाँ जी, there that corner. Okay, see now the youngsters are calling me, they know I'll be there with them. Understand this, Krishna?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है, बहुत इतना जोश भर गया है, जैसे आप क्वेश्चन पूछने आते हो जोश से एकदम फूल गई, मजा आ गया. थैंक यू सो मच TV9 भारतवर्ष. मैं तो इतनी ज्यादा एक्साइटेड, मतलब इतना मुझे घबराहट हो रही है कि मैं बोल भी नहीं पा रही, मैं इतनी ज्यादा खुश हूं.
इनके
ये
excitement
नहीं
से
बोल
side
पाना
में-
है क्या?
यस मैम.
हाँ जी.
So we were just telling you about the Indian tigers and tigresses. 30 of those kids have this golden opportunity of, well, flying to Austria, really taking their footballing dreams, let them take a flight. And we had 50,000 registrations, out of which only 30 have been selected. These are the 30 rising global stars, football prodigies from the length and breadth of the country, 8 scouting cabs, 50,000 registrations, 10,000 shortlisted, and out of that, only 30 remain, ladies and gentlemen. That's also one of those prime part of this summit, because all of these 30 kids are present in Bharat Mandapam in the grand auditorium. They're going to be seeking blessings from Prime Minister himself. Here's a short little montage of all these players in action as well, and what this entire process was like. It's not something that was completed overnight. It was a long, gruesome task that spanned over 7 to 8 months, and finally we have those 30 kids that are soon going to be going to Austria as well. Here's a little bit of a glimpse. Take a look.
खेला होगा हर नहले पे दहला होगा गेम बड़ा है स्टेज बड़ा है पूरा भारत साथ खड़ा है we are the Tigers साथ खड़ा है we are the Tigers गेम बड़ा है dribble like a rap pass setting up the trap kick hard in the ball chuck they football we are the Tigers chuck they football
So that's what viewers can expect. Again, taking you across to live visuals coming in from the Bharat Mandapam. But at this point in time, let me also introduce my colleague joining me here in the studio as well. News 9's input editor Brijesh Pandey with me here in the studio. Brijesh, what a great look at the global scale of this coverage as well. Even as these dignitaries start coming in, and moments from now, we've got the countdown timer in. The Prime Minister is going to be delivering that keynote summit address as well. This is the third time that the Prime Minister is gracing the TV9 summit within a span of about 15 to 16 months. Says a lot about the network as well, and about the faith and trust that the Prime Minister has reposed in the network as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, I mean, if you look at the statement which was made by Prime Minister himself, in the last, which we just aired, last year's WITT summit, where he said that the kind of vibrancy we see in the studios, in the newsroom of TV9, it is completely different from the other gig. And this is the third time the Prime Minister has come. Clearly shows that that he has chosen to repose his faith as far as the way TV9 network functioned. I mean, it's an absolutely amazing star cast that is there. You have a policymaker, you have a ringside view to all the policymakers, people who define the destiny of not only the country but also the world order per se, and the kind of situation which is out there in the world. You have Ukraine and Russia, and then middle of this you hear from the President of France saying that that one leader who is going to make a difference to this war which is going on is the Indian Prime Minister. So there's a lot of heft which the Indian policy, the foreign policy is gathering. And I think this will be a fascinating ringside view of what the Prime Minister articulates about his vision for 2047 Viksit Bharat. It will be a very, very interesting talk. And not only this, apart from Prime Minister, yesterday it's going to be a power packed of business and politics. In business you have got all the top captains, industry captains, people who define policy, people who make you Sensex runs thousands of points up, and the innovation which brings quality change in our respective lives, to the people who formulate policy, which is the politicians, all the chief ministers of big states which will be there talking about their vision of how they see their state in the next 1 year. I mean, it's a fabulous gathering of people who make and shape our destiny as well as our lives.
India taking the center stage in this new world order, British. I think that's the prime agenda of at least the first day of the TV9 What India Thinks Today summit. We are living in terrifying times, if I could put it that way, with Donald Trump. You rightly pointed out the Russia-Ukraine war, and somebody like Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who's also visited the Republican President Donald Trump over there. And we're also learning from Kremlin of corroborated reports that Vladimir Putin is set to visit India as well. No other person at this point in time, one of the tallest statesmen on the global stage as well, shaking hands with Donald Trump and then hugging Vladimir Putin on the other side as well. Nobody's looking down upon India. Everybody needs India's support as well. And we've been flashing those lines as well, because what India thinks, the world ends up listening.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, I mean, if you look at the fact that the way, the world leaders, I'm not saying that, if it is Indian commentators, then you can say that, the politics, people are trying to, cozy up to the government per se. But, the French president, even the Ukrainian president Zelensky saying that, I have faith in India's ability. And also the fact that, that Vladimir Putin, the man in action as far as this entire theatre of war is concerned, confirming that he's coming to India, speaks volumes about the way India has performed, or the way India has developed as far as its foreign policy heft is concerned. And that is the reason why, people are listening to India. We see that there's in this new world order which is emerging, because change is permanent. There's nothing more permanent than that. And then this change we are witnessing as far as the global power structure is concerned. Now there are power, the top 5 permanent nation countries saying that, this entire power structure is useless if India is not part of it. And there is a sub sectors as far as that power structure is concerned, in which India is playing the role of leadership. So I think, we have traveled a long way from where we were to our current situation right now, where world leaders are looking up to our leadership to participate and to also effect peace in the world theatre. I mean, who would have thought of it 5 years or 6 years down the line? So it will be very fascinating to listen to the Prime Minister articulating his view of the Viksit Bharat, which is talking about an India which is which is independent and not dependent on foreign countries, largely say it used to be many years ago. So it's going to be an extremely thrilling conversation as far as the Prime Minister is concerned.
If somebody would have asked the question, where could you possibly see the Russian Su-57 and the American F-35 standing on the same tarmac? Well, the answer to that is Bengaluru, the Aero India show that we recently saw. Where else can it happen in the world? But coming back to this event and its magnitude, we also have the political stalwarts, or how we're putting it, the political galaxy that is converging under one roof, from the cabinet ministers to, well, of course, the top opposition voices. I mean, needless to say, Team Modi and the critics, they're all going to be under the same roof for this really unfiltered and invigorating conversation. Several of those key polls are also right on the cards. You've got Bihar, you've got Tamil Nadu really early next year. All of that is also going to play its role as well. And we might just get not just one, but a couple of headlines here to debate about over the next couple of days as well. What are you expecting, at least when you're looking at the political lineup that is expected to come here? You've got union ministers, chief ministers, Mallikarjun Kharge. I mean, what other top opposition voice do you need? Tejaswi Yadav?
I honestly don't think that you get bigger than this. You have the entire galaxy of cabinet ministers, chief ministers, states which are kind of fashioning the industrial, ambition of the country, and also they are one of the key, players as far as this entire gamu of the India forward movement is concerned. And it doesn't get bigger than this. And there are certain chief ministers who are always in the thick of action as far as this country politics is concerned. Somebody like Hemanta Biswa Sarma and others, they also be in attendance, and it will be a fascinating conversation. I hope so, with the anchors there. They will be asking all those needling questions, eliciting that kind of the response from the chief minister, which will surely be making headlines in the entire TV9 network system. So I think we should be bracing ourselves for an absolutely fascinating and riveting conversation, ringside view of what people think, or what politicians think about their state, about the politics which is happening and shaping up. You rightly mentioned Bihar. We also have Tejaswi Yadav there, one of the key opponent as far as the BJP-led NDA. Absolutely, he's one of the top political leader, and how he has metamorphosed, from Lalu Yadav's son to a leader in his own right, and what he thinks about the politics which is shaping or making or marring the political destiny of Bihar. All of them will be in attendance, and what better than listen to them, from them, to what exactly they feel about certain controversial political issues, how they think that they can get the BJP under the mat, or how the BJP gets them under the mat. It's all going to be very scintillating conversation, which is going to be from there.
It's really exciting to be a journalist at this point in time as well, because the entire network, all wings and verticals, they've been working really hard over the last several months to make this really happen. And this is the third successful global summit, global in its literal terms, because I'm again reiterating, this is going to be beamed live across at least 5 countries, if not more, simultaneously. And then again, this is not a one-day event. This is a two-day event that's going to culminate with business, titans and icons and visionaries and policymakers, people that are actually going to end up impacting our lives altogether. Like Brijesh pointed out, you've got the political galaxy that is also assembling, several of those polls that are right around the corner as well. We've spoken about the Tigresses, the latest hunt, one of India's biggest hunt to catch those future football stars, to actualize India's own journey. It goes a long way, Brijesh.
Well, I think I just want to add, because you use the line there. I think for most of us, being a political reporter or people who have been covering these events and all, I think it's also once in a lifetime. I cannot but help but think that about the kind of impact this meeting is going to have on those 28 kids who have been selected for India's Tigress Hunt. Imagine being blessed by Prime Minister Narendra Modi before leaving for Austria.
Brijesh, I'm sorry to interject. I think we're going to cut live to the Bharat Mandapam. We've got Mr. Birla speaking at this point in time.
हम मस्ती में झुक जाए उधर अंबर भूतल, आजाद वतन के वाशिंदे, हर गीत हमारा है बादल, विविध प्रांत है अपनी अपनी भाषा के अभिमानी हम, लेकिन सबसे पहले दुनिया वालों हिंदुस्तानी हम.
Thank you. Poetry, गाना, पंच, डायलॉग सब कुछ है. सुरभि?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल. और यहाँ पर जिस तरीके से सब अपने भाव, मैं तो कहूंगी कि अब जिस तरीके से सबके इमोशन जुड़े हुए हैं, उसे अपने अंदाज में बयां करना चाहते हैं.
थैंक यू मैम. नमस्ते सदा वत्सली मातृभूमे, त्वया हिंदु भूमे सुखं वर्धितोऽहं महामंगल.
All right, the crowd work continues over there. You've got Krishna and Surbhi that are at least keeping the kids, because they're the impatient ones. And Brijesh, you were talking about those 30 kids that are going to be going to Austria now. And I've met some of those parents, Brijesh. What a humbling conversation with them. Many of them never even stepped a foot outside their own local villages, and let alone go to Delhi to the passport office, get your visas done. And what a great golden opportunity, an all paid, expenses paid trip to Austria to not just, go there and visit the beautiful country. You're also going to be training with coaches, training under the guidance of Europe's best. You're going to be competing with the European counterparts of the same age as well. It's going to be a great exposure for them.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, look at the kind of impact it will have on the kids. Imagine meeting the Prime Minister before embarking on such an important journey in their lives. As you mentioned, these are the kids, who survive just by their grit and he's never visited outside his village, going to Austria, playing with the best. The kind of impact it will have on their future lives is something which you cannot imagine. And I think for the kids, from many others, for the kids it's going to be one of the most memorable experience in their lifetime. To be selected from a pool of more than 7,000-10,000 people from the kids who have participated in this particular Tiger and Tigress Hunt tournament. And apart from that, getting a chance to meet the Prime Minister, getting selected as making it to the final 30 list, then going to Austria, competing against their counterparts, getting trained under one of the best football coaches and all. It's stuff, which dreams are made of.
You're absolutely right. I'm just going to mention it there that our youth development partner, VfB Stuttgart, is another Bundesliga legend. Out of these 30 kids that are going to be training in Austria, 4 are going to be handpicked and selected to go and train for 2 days with the Bundesliga legends as well. So it just doesn't stop there. And the long exponential ripple effect this will have on their careers, it, of course, needless to say, is going to have a profound impact as well. Now, you've got entertainment. That's what we're starting with, Brijesh, because you've got the Prime Minister's speech. Then of course the Prime Minister, he is a busy man, he's going to be leaving. We're going to have another combing check. There's the summit is going to break for a little bit of a tea and snacks, after which the entertainment kicks off, because you've got Yami Gautam, you've got Jim Sarb, all of these names are there. Vijay Deverakonda is going to be there in conversation. Nitin Gadkari, the highwayman, is also going to be present today as well. And it doesn't stop there. Tomorrow, the entire magnitude, the big list of all the top politicians from Himanta Biswa Sarma to Mallikarjun Kharge, they're going to be in conversation with all our editors in various kinds of formats, really grilling, and which is what I was coming to, Brijesh, because this is really exciting for all journalists. You know, it's a very tiptoe moment for all of us as well, people who are, you know, conducting these sessions as well. Everybody wants a little bit of a headline. Everybody wants to, you know, put their best foot forward as well, and want to niggle and edge these ministers in the right way possible. Of course, you want them to divulge some information that might turn out to be a headline, but like last time as well, these union ministers, of course, they're smart as well. They know exactly how to deal with these kind of questions.
Well, I think, you know, since we all are, most of us are political junkies, so, you know, we would want to know about what these ministers think about certain situations which are there, and what they think about the kind of political map which is shaping up, you know, because we have seen a lot of upside down since 2024 general election, BJP not getting an absolute majority on their own, but making a remarkable, almost a magical comeback as far as the state of Haryana and Maharashtra, and going on to win Delhi after 27 long years. So, you know, a lot of political churn, I would say, is also there. And I think the litmus test is going to be the state of Bihar and the state of Tamil Nadu, in which a lot is going on. So, you know, for those anchors and those reporters who will be there to interview these ministers, they would also want to know, you know, what is the strategy, what is the strategic narrative which these parties are thinking of putting in the place, making sure that their one-liner is better than the opposition one-liners. I mean, it's going to be a rat and mouse game, but it'll be very interesting to see.
One thing we know for sure is that the Bhagwant Mann session is going to be watched by all. He knows how to handle the crowd. We've seen it in the parliament as well. We've seen some of his old YouTube videos as well. A little bit controversial on that front, but hey, everybody wants to listen in to what the Punjab Chief Minister has to say. But then again, Tejashwi Yadav's one-on-one is also going to be equally crucial, because like you pointed out, the litmus test is Bihar that's coming up.
Well, yes, I mean, I think everybody would be interesting to see, because, you know, Bhagwant Mann is a man who is blessed by Goddess Saraswati, I would say, that, you know, that wit is the highest form of intellect. You know, many people use the word comedian as a pejorative term, but you know, wit, with that kind of wit and sharp repartee, it's a God's gift you are blessed with. I don't don't see it any other way, and that is the reason I would say that if you ask me, one of the most challenging task of the person who would be interviewing, the most challenging task of the anchor would be interviewing Bhagwant Mann, because the kind of sharp wit and retort which he'll be getting from him would be extremely fascinating and very you know, hard to catch up with. Tejaswi Yadav, again, you know, is a case in example. You know, the kind of metamorphosis he has. You know, he was Lalu Yadav's son. Many dismissed him. Many dubbed him as yet another example of family politics, parivarvad, which, you know, the BJP has going after. But the way he has performed in the last election, the way he has emerged out from his own father's shadow, I mean, emerging out of his own Lalu Prasad Yadav's shadow is in itself a near miraculous task. From there, you know, trying to take on BJP, which has almost all the stalwarts, and they have also put this the blip at 2024 general election behind them, and the way they are going after you know, elections in state after state and winning them. I mean, it's going to be an extremely interesting interview. Or also, we'd love to see, you know, what the alliance, whether they will be able to have that kind of equation there in Bihar, whether, you know, we see another kind of mismatch between them and RJD. So it's going to be very you know, and also Himanta Biswa Sarma, you know, a man who knows to be, you know, giving a tough time as far as to the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is concerned. So all of these are, you know, people, politicians who are there in the news 24/7, extremely sharp, extremely witty, and, you know, they know that, you know, that the anchors would know for sure, the reporters who will be interviewing them, to keep them at their toes.
The metamorphosis, this transformation of Tejashwi Yadav that you've been talking about, every time he accompanied his parents, every time they visited the central agencies for any kind of grilling session, for the Lands for Jobs scam, and how he used to do it back then to how he does it now, there's a major and drastic difference. But, you know, away from politics as well, Brijesh, all the industry titans and tycoons that you mentioned, the business moguls, they're going to be present. We really need to understand the business brain power that India has to take this growth forward, this roadmap that is going to be unveiled. And for that, it's important. And look at the names we have. NASSCOM is being represented by its top officer. You've got Maruti that's being represented by its top officer. CEOs, that's also very important. Business and economy, the driving engine of any country forward.
Well, absolutely. And I think, what is extremely interesting is that, we are living right now, Kabir, in a very interesting time, with Donald Trump taking over as the President of the United States and the kind of, economic policies he has unleashed on the world. It is making job of businessmen extremely difficult. The threats that, that I'll counter your tariff with my tariff, and that's going to, and also to take punitive measures. I think, what these industry tycoons and titans will be revealing will be far, far more important, because it is going to impact the physical health of you and I as far as this conversation is concerned, about the kind of strategies they have to make sure that India doesn't suffer under the punitive tariff measures which are being put in place by America, the kind of steps they are taking to make sure that the industry doesn't get impacted, and how India is taking India towards a $5 trillion economy. So all of that, what the government thinks, their input, what the private players think, how they want to move forward, what the government would feel that you should go do more America, less China, or what the industry says that we can't do that, we have to do more China and then less America. All of this conundrum which they are plagued with, the kind of hard realist policy measures they have to make, I think all of would be in full display. So it'll be a fascinating to listen to them as how they formulate and articulate the kind of challenge they are witnessing as far as the global economic scenario is concerned.
20th January, we were all sitting here in the studio, beaming live the coverage of the inauguration of Donald Trump, and the punitive measures started coming one after the other right after that. And, all across tariffs on steel, what kind of impact will that have on India was the biggest question, which was another one of those talking points when the Prime Minister was in Washington meeting with Donald Trump as well. Now with Vladimir Putin, he's set to be visiting India as well. They're looking to upgrade the bilateral trade to about $100 billion by the year 2030. What kind of a reaction will this, conjure from the Republican administration? That's going to be something very interesting to look at. Before we move on any further, let's again listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say, because we're again telling you, moments from now, the keynote speech, the summit keynote address by the Prime Minister, as the Prime Minister is going to be gracing the entire occasion and making this a huge and grand success. The SPG, we're learning, have gone through with their combing process, their last minute screenings. It's all in place now. The Prime Minister is going to be amidst us within any moment. Before we do that, let's listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say in the previous edition of the What India Thinks Today TV9 Summit.
मैं अक्सर भारत की डायवर्सिटी की चर्चा करता रहता हूं। इस डायवर्सिटी को टीवी 9 का न्यूज रूम, आपकी रिपोर्टिंग टीम में बखूबी वो नजर आता है, ये रिप्रेजेंट करता है। टीवी 9 के अनेक भारतीय भाषाओं में मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स हैं। आप भारत की वाइब्रेंट डेमोक्रेसी उस निधि भी है। मैं अलग अलग राज्यों में अलग अलग भाषाओं में टीवी 9 में काम करने वाले सभी पत्रकार साथियों का, आपकी टेक्निकल टीम का बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं। साथियों, आज टीवी 9 की टीम ने इस समिट के लिए बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग टॉपिक चुना है। इंडिया पोइज्ड फॉर द नेक्स्ट बिग लीप। और बिग लीप तो हम तभी ले सकते हैं जब हम जोश में हो, ऊर्जा से भरे हुए हो। कोई हताश निराश देश हो या व्यक्ति बिग लिप के बारे में सोच ही नहीं सकता। ये थीम ही अपने आप में ये बताने के लिए काफी है कि आज का भारत का आत्मविश्वास किस ऊंचाई पर है, आकांक्षा क्या है। अगर आज दुनिया को लगता है कि भारत एक बड़ा लीप लेने के लिए तैयार है, तो उसके पीछे 10 साल का एक पावरफुल लॉन्च पैड है। तो 10 वर्ष में ऐसा क्या बदला कि आज हम यहां पहुंचे हैं। ये बदलाव माइंडसेट का है, ये बदलाव सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस और ट्रस्ट का है, ये बदलाव गुड गवर्नेंस का, सुशासन का। साथियों, एक बहुत पुरानी कहावत है, मन के हारे हार है, मन के जीते जीत।
Well, the Prime Minister is shortly going to be with us, and right at the outset, let me tell you again that those selected Indian tigers and tigresses, they're going to be seeking their blessings from the Prime Minister. There's going to be a massive photo op, and of course, they have been handpicked. These are very humbling and very inspiring stories from across the length and breadth of the country. You've got kids from Pune. We had a Jammu and Kashmir camping session that was also taken up, and of course, from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, kids have been selected. They're going to be seeking their blessings from the Prime Minister. My colleague Shweta Kothari, she was there at the spot earlier today speaking to some of those kids as well, and the mind behind all of this, Barun Das, the CEO and MD of the TV9 network. Listen in to this really riveting conversation. You can see the kids as well. You can see and hear the man behind this entire vision of actualizing India's future footballing dream.
Bringing to you actually something that's more important, one of the great initiatives, big initiatives of TV9 network on your screens right now are the tigers and tigresses that TV9 network has really selected. Kids from different sections of society would be going to Austria, and the man who's really responsible for that initiative, let me quickly get a camera on our MD and CEO Barun Das. Barun, congratulations to you. This is the third successful WITT, and you've done something very important and great with these kids here.
These are the stars today. I told you that they are the stars. They have come from all over India. After today is a special moment for all of you, है ना? आप प्राइम मिनिस्टर को मिल रहे हो, उनसे ब्लेसिंग ले रहे हो, बहुत बड़ा मोमेंट है. उसके बाद आप जाओगे ऑस्ट्रिया, जर्मनी और खेल के आओगे. और मुझे तो उम्मीद है तुम लोग सब, तुम में से कोई ना कोई या सब लोग आगे तो इंडिया खेलोगे ही खेलोगे, है ना?
Let's clap for that, kids. Let's clap for that.
और जैसे मैंने बोला, हाथ हडल बना के बैठ जाओगे, बीच में छोड़ के, इसमें छोड़ के. Now all of us.
All right, but Barun, I think I'll take a minute of yours. I think our audience is very, very keenly eyeing this. This is the third consecutive time in less than 12 months that Prime Minister will be gracing a TV9 network event. Very excited. Preparations are on. What are your big expectations? What went behind planning this big event?
Oh, this is like, I think this is going to be bigger than anything else that we have done so far. And obviously, I think everybody has stretched themselves to a level that I'm just waiting for this thing to get over so that all of us can go and relax. And it's a great moment of pride for all of us. Yes, Prime Minister has been kind to grace the occasion. We are expecting to have him with us today. But the biggest thing about this is that we have 5 international locations. The have gathered already, they will be watching Prime Minister live. So we've got this big screens in the...
Not just in India, in 5 different countries.
That's right. So they will be watching it. So it's like, I mean, we always challenge ourselves. We set a benchmark, then we try and set a new benchmark for us. That has been our constant endeavor. And obviously the TV9 team, it just rocks.
I mean, with your leadership, of course, you know, someone just said this feels like Beti Ki Shadi, and you've done it for 3 days, 3 times now consecutively. You know, how bigger is this? We are in Bharat Mandapam, and this is bigger than it gets, from Germany coming back to India, then perhaps going to another nation. You know, what sort of planning went behind this?
Oh, a huge amount of planning, but I for me, I mean, if I had a daughter, I would have asked her to go and get married somewhere. I wouldn't have made it so big. But this is like, you know, we are the biggest news organization in the country, and when we do things, there are expectations from all over, from people in the corridors of power as well as our audience, that we need to scale it up to a level that which suits our status. So, and it is actually, how do I put it? That organization, the preparation, the tension, the stress, the extent. The level, the scale is unbelievable, and the whole team. I mean, it is actually a challenge that how do you orchestrate the entire TV9 network. And I would tend to think that all of you have contributed to this.
You're very kind, but I'll let you be. I know you have a very busy day ahead of you. In fact, I'll keep coming back to you.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen, bringing you live updates from the Bharat Mandapam. As you can see, of course, chief ministers are going to be in attendance. We've been talking about it. Mohan Yadav of Madhya Pradesh, Bhagwant Mann of Punjab, Pushkar Singh Dhami representing the Uttarakhand government over there. And you also have top opposition voices, Mallikarjun Kharge, Tejashwi Yadav. They're all going to be in attendance. Expect unfiltered exchanges, the big political face-offs and conversations that will dominate national headlines, needless to say, for the days to come. But hey, this event will also be featuring the business, economy, industry titans. We're telling you all about it. We of course need to talk about the engine that drives India forward, our business and the economy sector. So get ready to hear from the CEOs as well. But cutting live to the Bharat Mandapam next, ladies and gentlemen, any minute Prime Minister is going to be gracing the occasion.
भले से ही आपका प्रिंसिपल हो, डिप्लोमेसी का, पॉलिटिक्स का, दुनिया भर को वो एक दिशा दिखाते हैं, तो आज देश की ही नहीं बल्कि दुनिया की दशा और दिशा भारत तय कर रहा है।
हम सभी की नजरें उस जगह पर टिकी हुई हैं जहां से प्रधानमंत्री जी अब से कुछ ही क्षणों में आने वाले हैं, और कुछ ही क्षणों में यहां पर आपको प्रधानमंत्री जी आते हुए दिखाई देंगे। मैं चाहूंगा यहां पर जो मैं देख सकता हूं अब से कुछ ही क्षणों में, और आपको बताना चाहूंगा कि इस वक्त इस मंच से हम सभी ये सुनना चाहते हैं कि इस देश के प्रधानमंत्री क्या मैसेज देना चाह रहे हैं, क्या संदेश देना चाह रहे हैं। आखिर वो कौन सा मैसेज है पूरी दुनिया के लिए, जब भारत ने साबित कर दिया है न सिर्फ हम न्यूट्रलिटी के पक्ष में हैं बल्कि हम पीस के पक्ष में हैं, प्रॉस्पेरिटी के पक्ष में हैं। और यहां पर अब से कुछ ही क्षणों में प्रधानमंत्री जी आने वाले हैं। मैं चाहूंगा आप सभी लोग बस तैयार हो जाइए, सबकी नजरें सिर्फ वहीं पर टिकी हुई हैं। किसी भी क्षण यहां पर प्रधानमंत्री जी आएंगे, और मैं आप सभी लोगों से गुजारिश करूंगा कि आप सभी लोग, ये आपके कैमरास में देख रहा हूं, लेकिन मैं चाहूंगा कि अपने हाथों को खाली रखिए तालियों के लिए, क्योंकि जैसे ही प्रधानमंत्री जी आएंगे यहां पर जोरदार तालियों से उनका हम स्वागत करेंगे यहां पर, और सबकी नजरें वहां पर हैं।
Ladies and gentlemen, we are expecting the Prime Minister of Bharat to be in our midst any moment now. The wait is over, and the man who is being acknowledged now worldwide as a true leader, somebody who defines the direction not just that India is taking, but is also setting the line for the policies worldwide. He is going to be in our midst, the Prime Minister of Bharat, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Any moment now he is going to be making his entrance. He is already with us here in our midst, and any moment now we will have him here in the room with us.
What India thinks today, भारत क्या सोचता है, ये पूरी दुनिया जानना चाहती है। भारत क्या सोचता है, ये पूरी दुनिया देखना चाहती है, क्योंकि इस केओस, इस पूरी तरीके से आपाधापी में सिर्फ यही एक देश है जो न सिर्फ अपने आप को संभाले हुए है बल्कि पूरी दुनिया को एक राह दिखाते हुए आगे। और ये इस देश की बड़ी खूबसूरती है, और इसका श्रेय हमारे प्रधानमंत्री और इस देश की जनता को जाना चाहिए। जिस तरीके से यहाँ पर अब से कुछ ही क्षणों में मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा, प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी यहाँ पर आएंगे और आप सभी लोग उनका संबोधन सुन पाएंगे। और हम सभी ये जानना चाहते हैं कि इस मंच पर क्या कहने वाले हैं प्रधानमंत्री जी। उस गेट पर है। मैं आपको बताना चाहूंगा, बस किसी भी क्षण प्रधानमंत्री जी आ रहे हैं। जोरदार तालियों से स्वागत करिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी का।
जो मुश्किलों का अंबार है, वही तो मेरे हौसलों की मीनार है।
In welcoming Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
Great to see you again.
We missed you. We missed you a lot.
और मुझे विश्वास है कि इस दूसरे टर्म में भी हम उसी गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। मेरे शरीर का हर कण, मेरे समय का हर क्षण देश को ही समर्पित है।
मैं गुजारिश करूंगा माय होम ग्रुप के चेयरमैन डॉक्टर रामेश्वर राव जी से कि वो शॉल के साथ प्रधानमंत्री जी का स्वागत करें।
Can we please have the shawl on stage? अब मैं वेलकम स्पीच के लिए इनवाइट करना चाहती हूं माय होम ग्रुप के वाइस चेयरमैन मिस्टर रामू राव को ऑन स्टेज।
Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, respected Chairman Dr. Rameshwar Garu, ladies and gentlemen, I deem it my proud privilege to welcome our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji to the third edition of TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit. Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, for taking time out from very busy schedule to grace the occasion as the chief guest and deliver the summit keynote address. Your vision for inclusive growth and a world where war isn't an option is now part and parcel of the global lexicon. The world looks up to India under your leadership to navigate these extremely turbulent times. As a young entrepreneur, I'm deeply enthused by the manner in which aspirations of 1.4 billion Indians are being channelized into shaping India as a driver of world economic growth. The World Bank has said that India is set to dominate the global economic landscape, maintaining its status as the fastest growing large economy for the next 2 fiscal years. The IMF too has endorsed the India growth story. The extraordinary momentum is credited to the transformational policy making over the last decade. The Union government, under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Ji, Shri Narendra Modi Ji, has implemented a series of visionary schemes and initiatives aimed at propelling the nation towards sustained economic growth and global leadership. From infrastructure development under the PM Gati Shakti National Master Plan to fostering innovation through initiatives like Startup India and the Production-Linked Incentive Scheme, these reforms are transforming sectors such as manufacturing, digital economy, and financial inclusion. It is heartening to note that Honorable Prime Minister Shri Modi Ji is pushing for Digital India is fast becoming a template for even some developed countries, where the India stack is now being eagerly adopted. For me and millions like me who have a commitment to the India story, it is the most opportune time to skill up, scale up, and speed up the growth curve. At my home group, the motto is to align our business goals with nation building. Accordingly, for us, the larger public good prevails over the profit imperative. I've learned these values from my father, Dr. Rameshwar Garu, whose own entrepreneurial journey has been inspired by his deep spiritual foundation. Honorable Prime Minister, your unwavering faith in young India like a lot of people like me, and your clarion call for pivoting to job givers from job seekers is a paradigm shift in the entrepreneurial journey of India. Thanks to you, sir, what India thinks today is a new era of stability, growth, and equity. Thank you, one and all.
थैंक यू वेरी मच रामू जी. मैं अब गुजारिश करूंगी कि आप हमारे एक स्पेशल प्रेजेंटेशन के लिए मंच पर प्लीज, इफ यू कैन प्लीज कम बैक ऑन स्टेज, अगर आप मंच पर आ जाए, बिकॉज व्हाट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट इज द कल्मिनेशन ऑफ इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट फुटबॉल टैलेंट हंट फॉर यंग बॉयज एंड गर्ल्स, द न्यूज़ 9 हंट फॉर टाइगर्स एंड टाइग्रेसेस.
Our global partners in this national scouting program were Austria's RISPO, the German Football Association, Bundesliga, VfB Stuttgart, the International Football Institute of Germany, and technology company Steiker Labs, technical partner Sudeva FC. आप सभी को जानकर हैरानी होगी कि टैलेंट हंट में 15,000 स्कूलों के 50,000 से ज्यादा बच्चों को कवर किया गया है.
And today, the 28 final winners of News 9 Tigers and Tigresses will get to meet with the Honorable Prime Minister of India himself and seek his blessings. Before these children come on the stage, I would like to invite TV9 Network's MD, Mr. Barun Das, Whole-Time Director, TV9 Network, Mr. Hemant Sharma, Ambassador of Austria to India, Ms. Katharina Weiser, Board Member and Chief Marketing Officer of VfB Stuttgart, Mr. Ruven Kasper, and Advisor, Bundesliga, Mr. Peter Liebel on stage as well. Can I please request you all to come on stage? A huge round of applause for our very special guests. Can you please on stage? This way, please. And we now invite our young football champions to come up on the stage. Let's encourage them, invite them here. Put your hands together for these very bright, talented young children.
इस खेल में अब खेला होगा, हर नहले पे दहला होगा. गेम बड़ा है, स्टेज बड़ा है, पूरा भारत साथ खड़ा है. Hey, we are the Tigers. साथ खड़ा है. Hey, we are the Tigers.
I think these children deserve a louder round of applause. Come on, this is India's future right here with you.
Our Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, respected Chairman of My Home Group, promoters of TV9 Network, Dr. Rameshwar Rao ji, other esteemed guests from India and abroad, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It is my privilege to welcome you all to the third edition of What India Thinks Today Summit, which begins with a keynote address from the Honorable Prime Minister. As we all know, at the core of Modi ji's vision is India first. To realize his goal of Viksit Bharat by 2047, I understand, sir, that you are focusing a bit more on 3 constituencies. I take the liberty to express that. These constituencies are the youth of India, the women of India, and the Indian diaspora. I have always maintained that women empowerment and women development should be the foundation of anything that we do as a society. So today, we have turned our focus to the other 2 constituencies. As far as the global diaspora is concerned, we at TV9 Network have initiated our engagement last year in the News 9 Global Summit at Stuttgart, Germany, which will be bigger and better in October later this year. We also have 2 more geographies on our radar, the UAE and the US for News 9 Global Summit. These are initiatives that precede TV9 Network's global expansion under the guidance of our chairman, Dr. Rameshwar Rao. Today, we have 5 international locations: London, Abu Dhabi, Melbourne, Munich, and Paris. The members of the Indian diaspora have gathered there already to watch the Honorable PM's keynote address live. Our second constituency is the youth. I have observed that whenever the Honorable Prime Minister interacts with the children, there's a unique chemistry at play. That makes me wonder, sir, whether you love the children more or the children love you more. Today, you have just witnessed this unique chemistry. By the way, those of you been wondering that why football? 9 months ago, when we initiated this national scouting program for young footballing talent called the Hunt for India's Tigers and Tigresses, I drew my inspiration from Swami Vivekananda. He once famously said that you will be nearer to heaven through football than through the study of Gita. These 28 boys and girls who have been chosen to train in Austria and Germany will fly out day after. But today, these talented children got the opportunity of a lifetime to meet you, Prime Minister, sir, and seek your blessings. I have no doubt that these young tigers and tigresses, some of them, if not all of them, will eventually bring glory to our country. Modi ji, on behalf of our network, I would like to reaffirm with all humility that we will stay committed to your vision of India first with many such initiatives. But sir, that said, it is quite evident that when you say India first, you never mean India only. Friends, I'm sure all of you have heard Prime Minister's recent conversation with Lex Friedman. Stunning as it was for the variety and depth of subjects it covered, for me personally, it was a masterclass in life and leadership. As I listened to Modi ji's deep thoughts on everything, from spirituality to geopolitical discord, I was reminded once again of the great Swami Vivekananda, who similarly spoke with such clarity and compassion. As you would all recall, the famous speech of Swami Vivekananda in 1983 at the World's Parliament of Religions in Chicago. It was the first time an Indian inspired the entire world with our value of universal love and brotherhood. So what is it about this great man that gives him this universal appeal? This is again my personal viewpoint. To my mind, all the great leaders, they demonstrate 3 unique qualities. 1, high level of intellect that enables them to predict the future from reading current and past trend. 2, they all spoke from their heart with eloquence, and hence their words resonated across the world. And 3, they all pursued a higher sense of purpose, which is global good. When I listen to the Prime Minister, I find in his words repeated articulation of a universal vision for shared and collective prosperity. His insistence that leadership is all about serving people makes him a man who has the ear and trust of global leaders even when they are at war with each other. Today, the world sees India as a universal friend, Vishwabandhu. And the Honorable Prime Minister, no doubt, is the tallest and most admired statesman in the world today. Napoleon Bonaparte, though I agree that he himself couldn't live up to it to that extent, has once said, "The heart of a statesman should be in his head." Your actions have demonstrated that without any doubt to a world who is keenly watching. We are grateful, sir. You've chosen to grace this summit with your presence this evening. With that, let me make way for what all of you have been eagerly waiting, the summit keynote address by none other than the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji.
श्रीमान रामेश्वर गारू जी, रामू जी, वरुण दास जी, टीवी 9 की पूरी टीम, मैं आपके नेटवर्क के सभी दर्शकों का, यहां उपस्थित सभी महानुभावों का अभिनंदन करता हूं। इस समिट के लिए बधाई देता हूं। टीवी 9 नेटवर्क का विशाल रीजनल ऑडियंस है और अब तो टीवी 9 का एक ग्लोबल ऑडियंस भी तैयार हो रहा है। इस समिट में अनेक देशों से इंडियन डायस्पोरा के लोग विशेष तौर पर लाइव जुड़े हुए हैं। कई देशों के लोगों को मैं यहां से देख भी रहा हूं, वे लोग वहां से वेव कर रहे हैं। हो सकता है मैं सभी को शुभकामनाएं देता हूं। मैं यहां नीचे स्क्रीन पर हिंदुस्तान के अनेक शहरों में बैठे हुए सब दर्शकों को भी उतने ही उत्साह उमंग से देख रहा हूं। मेरी तरफ से उनका भी स्वागत है। साथियों, आज विश्व की दृष्टि भारत पर है, हमारे देश पर है। दुनिया में आप किसी भी देश में जाएं, वहां के लोग भारत को लेकर एक नई जिज्ञासा से भरे हुए हैं। आखिर ऐसा क्या हुआ कि जो देश 70 साल में 11वें नंबर की इकोनॉमी बना, वो महज 7-8 साल में 5वें नंबर की इकोनॉमी बन गया। अभी आईएमएफ के नए आंकड़े सामने आए हैं। वो आंकड़े कहते हैं कि भारत दुनिया की एकमात्र मेजर इकोनॉमी है जिसने 10 वर्षों में अपने जीडीपी को डबल किया है। बीते दशक में करोड़ डॉलर अपनी इकोनॉमी में जोड़े हैं। जीडीपी का डबल होना सिर्फ आंकड़ों का बदलना मात्र नहीं है, इसका इंपैक्ट देखिए। 25 करोड़ लोग गरीबी से बाहर निकले हैं और ये 25 करोड़ लोग एक न्यू मिडिल हिस्सा बने हैं। ये न्यू मिडिल क्लास एक प्रकार से नई जिंदगी शुरू कर रहा है। ये नए सपनों के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है, हमारी इकोनॉमी में कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है और उसको वाइब्रेंट बना रहा है। आज दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी युवा आबादी हमारे भारत में है। ये युवा तेजी से स्किल्ड हो रहा है, इनोवेशन को गति दे रहा है और इन सब के बीच भारत की फॉरेन पॉलिसी का मंत्र बन गया है इंडिया फर्स्ट। एक जमाने में भारत की पॉलिसी थी सबसे समान रूप से दूरी बनाकर चलो, इक्वी डिस्टेंस की पॉलिसी। आज के भारत की पॉलिसी है सबके समान रूप से करीब होकर चलो, इक्वी क्लोजनेस की पॉलिसी। दुनिया के देश भारत की ओपिनियन को, भारत के इनोवेशन को, भारत के एफर्ट्स को जैसा महत्व आज दे रहे हैं वैसा पहले कभी नहीं हुआ। आज दुनिया की नजर भारत पर है। आज दुनिया जानना चाहती है व्हाट इंडिया थिंक टुडे। साथियों, भारत आज वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर में सिर्फ पार्टिसिपेट ही नहीं कर रहा बल्कि फ्यूचर को शेप और सिक्योर करने में योगदान दे रहा है। दुनिया ने ये कोरोना काल में अच्छे से अनुभव किया है। दुनिया को लगता था कि हर भारतीय तक वैक्सीन पहुंचने में ही कई साल लग जाएंगे, लेकिन भारत ने हर आशंका को गलत साबित किया। हमने अपनी वैक्सीन बनाई, हमने अपने नागरिकों का तेजी से वैक्सीनेशन कराया और दुनिया के 150 से अधिक देशों तक दवाएं और वैक्सीन भी पहुंचाई। आज दुनिया, और जब दुनिया संकट में थी तब भारत की ये भावना दुनिया के कोने कोने तक पहुंची कि हमारे संस्कार क्या है, हमारा तौर तरीका क्या है। साथियों, अतीत में दुनिया ने देखा है कि दूसरे विश्व युद्ध के बाद जब भी कोई वैश्विक संगठन बना उसमें कुछ देशों की ही मोनोपोली रही। भारत ने मोनोपोली नहीं बल्कि मानवता को सर्वोपरि रखा। भारत ने 21वीं सदी के ग्लोबल इंस्टीट्यूशन के गठन का रास्ता बनाया और हमने ये ध्यान रखा कि सबकी भागीदारी हो, सबका योगदान हो। जैसे प्राकृतिक आपदाओं की चुनौती है, देश कोई भी हो, इन आपदाओं से इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को भारी नुकसान होता है। आज ही म्यांमार में जो भूकंप आया है, आप टीवी पर देखें तो बहुत बड़ी बड़ी इमारतें ध्वस्त हो रही है, ब्रिज टूट रहे हैं और इसलिए भारत ने कोएलिशन फॉर डिजास्टर रेजिलिएंट इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर CDRI नाम से एक वैश्विक नया संगठन बनाने की पहल की। ये सिर्फ एक संगठन नहीं, बल्कि दुनिया को प्राकृतिक आपदाओं के लिए तैयार करने का संकल्प है। भारत का प्रयास है प्राकृतिक आपदा से पुल, सड़कें, बिल्डिंग्स, पावर ग्रिड, ऐसा हर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर सुरक्षित रहे, सुरक्षित निर्माण हो। साथियों, चुनौतियों से निपटने के लिए हर देश का मिलकर काम करना बहुत जरूरी है। ऐसी एक चुनौती है हमारे एनर्जी रिसोर्सेज की। इसलिए पूरी दुनिया की चिंता करते हुए भारत ने इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस ISA का समाधान दिया है, ताकि छोटे से छोटा देश भी सस्टेनेबल एनर्जी का लाभ उठा सके। इससे क्लाइमेट पर तो पॉजिटिव असर होगा ही, ये ग्लोबल साउथ के देशों की एनर्जी नीड्स को भी सिक्योर करेगा। और आप सबको ये जानकर गर्व होगा कि भारत के इस प्रयास के साथ आज दुनिया के 100 से अधिक देश जुड़ चुके हैं। साथियों, बीते कुछ समय से दुनिया ग्लोबल ट्रेड में असंतुलन और लॉजिस्टिक्स से जुड़ी चैलेंजेस का सामना कर रहा है। इन चुनौतियों से निपटने के लिए भी भारत ने दुनिया के साथ मिलकर नए प्रयास शुरू किए हैं। इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर IMEC ऐसा ही एक महत्वाकांक्षी प्रोजेक्ट है। ये प्रोजेक्ट कॉमर्स और कनेक्टिविटी के माध्यम से एशिया, यूरोप और मिडिल ईस्ट को जोड़ेगा। इससे आर्थिक संभावनाएं तो बढ़ेगी ही, दुनिया को अल्टरनेटिव ट्रेड रूट्स भी मिलेंगे। इससे ग्लोबल सप्लाई चेन भी और मजबूत होगी। साथियों, ग्लोबल सिस्टम्स को अधिक पार्टिसिपेटिव, अधिक डेमोक्रेटिक बनाने के लिए भी भारत ने अनेक कदम उठाए हैं। और यहीं पर ही भारत मंडपम में G20 समिट हुई थी। उसमें अफ्रीकन यूनियन को G20 का परमानेंट मेंबर बनाया गया है। ये बहुत बड़ा ऐतिहासिक कदम है। इसकी मांग लंबे समय से हो रही थी, जो भारत की प्रेसिडेंसी में पूरी हुई। आज ग्लोबल डिसीजन मेकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस में भारत ग्लोबल साउथ के देशों की आवाज बन रहा है। इंटरनेशनल योगा डे, WHO का ग्लोबल सेंटर फॉर ट्रेडिशनल मेडिसिन, आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस के लिए ग्लोबल फ्रेमवर्क, ऐसे कितने ही क्षेत्रों में भारत के प्रयासों ने नए वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर में अपनी मजबूत उपस्थिति दर्ज कराई है। और ये तो अभी शुरुआत है। ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म पर भारत का सामर्थ्य नई ऊंचाई की तरफ बढ़ रहा है। साथियों, 21वीं सदी के 25 साल बीत चुके हैं। इन 25 सालों में 11 साल हमारी सरकार ने देश की सेवा की है। और जब हम व्हाट इंडिया थिंक्स टुडे उससे जुड़ा सवाल उठाते हैं तो हमें ये भी देखना होगा कि पास्ट में क्या सवाल थे, क्या जवाब थे। इससे टीवी 9 के विशाल दर्शक समूह को भी अंदाजा होगा कि कैसे हम आत्मनिर्भरता से आत्मनिर्भरता तक, एस्पिरेशन से अचीवमेंट तक, डिस्परेशन से डेवलपमेंट तक पहुंचे हैं। आप याद करिए, एक दशक पहले गांव में जब टॉयलेट का सवाल आता था तो माताओं बहनों के पास रात ढलने के बाद और भोर होने से पहले का ही जवाब होता था। आज उसी सवाल का जवाब स्वच्छ भारत मिशन से मिलता है। 2013 में जब कोई इलाज की बात करता था तो महंगे इलाज की चर्चा होती थी। आज उसी सवाल का समाधान आयुष्मान भारत में नजर आता है। 2013 में किसी गरीब की रसोई की बात होती थी तो धुएं की तस्वीर सामने आती थी। आज उसी समस्या का समाधान उज्ज्वला योजना में दिखता है। 2013 में महिलाओं से बैंक खाते के बारे में पूछा जाता था तो चुप्पी साध लेती थी। आज जनधन योजना के कारण 30 करोड़ से ज्यादा बहनों का अपना बैंक अकाउंट है। 2013 में पीने के पानी के लिए कुएं और तालाबों की तक जाने की मजबूरी थी। आज उसी मजबूरी का हल हर घर नल से जल योजना में मिल रहा है। यानी सिर्फ दशक नहीं बदला बल्कि लोगों की जिंदगी बदली है। और दुनिया भी इस बात को नोट कर रही है, भारत के डेवलपमेंट मॉडल को स्वीकार रही है। आज भारत सिर्फ नेशन ऑफ ड्रीम्स नहीं बल्कि नेशन दैट डिलीवर्स भी है। साथियों, जब कोई देश अपने नागरिकों की सुविधा और समय को महत्व देता है तब उस देश का समय भी बदलता है। यही आज हम भारत में अनुभव कर रहे हैं। मैं आपको एक उदाहरण देता हूं। पहले पासपोर्ट बनवाना कितना बड़ा काम था ये आप जानते हैं। लंबी वेटिंग, बहुत सारे कॉम्प्लेक्स डॉक्यूमेंटेशन का प्रोसेस, अक्सर राज्यों की राजधानी में ही पासपोर्ट केंद्र होते थे। छोटे शहरों के लोगों को पासपोर्ट बनवाना होता था तो 1-2 दिन कहीं ठहरने का इंतजाम करके चलते थे। अब वो हालात पूरी तरह बदल गया है। एक आंकड़े पर आप ध्यान दीजिए, पहले देश में सिर्फ 77 पासपोर्ट सेवा केंद्र थे। आज इनकी संख्या 550 से ज्यादा हो गई है। पहले पासपोर्ट बनवाने में, और मैं 2013 के पहले की बात करूं, मैं पिछली शताब्दी की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं। पासपोर्ट बनवाने में जो वेटिंग टाइम 50 दिन तक होता था वो अब 5-6 दिन तक सिमट गया है। साथियों, ऐसी ही ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन हमने बैंकिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर में भी देखा है। हमारे देश में 50-60 साल पहले बैंकों का नेशनलाइजेशन किया गया, ये कहकर कि इससे लोगों को बैंकिंग सुविधा सुलभ होगी। इस दावे की सच्चाई हम जानते हैं। हालत ये थी कि लाखों गांवों में बैंकिंग की कोई सुविधा ही नहीं थी। हमने स्थिति को भी बदला है। ऑनलाइन बैंकिंग तो हर घर में पहुंचाई है। आज देश के हर 5 किलोमीटर के दायरे में कोई न कोई बैंकिंग टच पॉइंट जरूर है। और हमने सिर्फ बैंकिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर का ही दायरा नहीं बढ़ाया, बल्कि बैंकिंग सिस्टम को भी मजबूत किया। आज बैंकों का एनपीए बहुत कम हो गया है। आज बैंकों का प्रॉफिट 1,40,000 करोड़ रुपए के नए रिकॉर्ड को पार कर चुका है। और इतना ही नहीं, जिन लोगों ने जनता को लूटा है उनको भी अब लूटा हुआ धन लौटाना पड़ रहा है। जिस ईडी को दिन रात गालियां दी जा रही है, ईडी ने 22,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक वसूले हैं। ये कानूनी तरीके से उन पीड़ितों तक वापस पहुंचाया जा रहा है जिनसे ये पैसा लूटा गया था। साथियों, एफिशिएंसी से गवर्नमेंट इफेक्टिव होती है। कम समय में ज्यादा काम हो, कम रिसोर्सेज हो, फिजूल खर्ची ना हो, रेड टैप के बजाय रेड कारपेट पर बल हो। जब कोई सरकार ये करती है तो समझिए वो देश के संसाधनों को रिस्पेक्ट दे रही है। और पिछले 11 साल से हमारी सरकार की बड़ी प्राथमिकता रहा है। मैं कुछ उदाहरणों के साथ अपनी बात बताऊंगा। साथियों, अतीत में हमने देखा है कि सरकारें कैसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोगों को मिनिस्ट्रीज में एकोमोडेट करने की कोशिश करती थी, लेकिन हमारी सरकार ने अपने पहले कार्यकाल में ही कई मंत्रालयों का विलय कर दिया। आप सोचिए, अर्बन डेवलपमेंट अलग मंत्रालय था और हाउसिंग एंड अर्बन पॉवर्टी एलिवेशन अलग मंत्रालय था। हमने दोनों को मर्ज करके हाउसिंग एंड अर्बन अफेयर्स मंत्रालय बना दिया। इसी तरह मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ओवरसीज अफेयर्स अलग था, विदेश मंत्रालय अलग था। हमने इन दोनों को भी एक साथ जोड़ दिया। पहले जल संसाधन नदी विकास मंत्रालय अलग था और पेयजल मंत्रालय अलग था। हमने इन्हें भी जोड़कर जल शक्ति मंत्रालय बना दिया। हमने राजनीतिक मजबूरी के बजाय देश की प्रायोरिटीज और देश के रिसोर्सेज को आगे रखा। साथियों, हमारी सरकार ने रूल्स और रेगुलेशंस को भी कम किया, उन्हें आसान बनाया। करीब 1500 ऐसे कानून थे जो समय के साथ अपना महत्व खो चुके थे, उनको हमारी सरकार ने खत्म किया। करीब 40,000 कंप्लायंसेस को हटाया गया। ऐसे कदमों से दो फायदे हुए। एक तो जनता को हैरेसमेंट से मुक्ति मिली और दूसरा सरकारी मशीनरी की एनर्जी भी बची। एक और एग्जाम्पल जीएसटी का है। 30 से ज्यादा टैक्सेस को मिलाकर एक टैक्स बना दिया गया है। इसको प्रोसेस के डॉक्यूमेंटेशन के हिसाब से देखे तो कितनी बड़ी बचत हुई है। साथियों, सरकारी खरीद में पहले कितनी फिजूल खर्ची होती थी, कितना करप्शन होता था, ये मीडिया के आप लोग आए दिन रिपोर्ट करते थे। हमने जेम यानी गवर्नमेंट ई मार्केट प्लेस प्लेटफॉर्म बनाया। अब सरकारी डिपार्टमेंट इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर अपनी जरूरतें बताते हैं, इसी पर वेंडर बोली लगाते हैं और फिर ऑर्डर दिया जाता है। इसके कारण भ्रष्टाचार की गुंजाइश कम हुई है और सरकार को 1 लाख करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की बचत हुई है। डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर डीबीटी की जो व्यवस्था भारत ने बनाई है, उसकी तो दुनिया में चर्चा है। डीबीटी की वजह से टैक्स पेयर के 3 लाख करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा गलत हाथों में जाने से बचे हैं। 10 करोड़ से ज्यादा फर्जी लाभार्थी जिनका जन्म भी नहीं हुआ था, जो सरकारी योजनाओं का फायदा ले रहे थे, ऐसे फर्जी नामों को भी हमने कागजों से हटाया है। साथियों, हमारी सरकार टैक्स की पाई पाई का ईमानदारी से उपयोग करती है और टैक्स पेयर का भी सम्मान करती है। सरकार ने टैक्स सिस्टम को टैक्स पेयर फ्रेंडली बनाया है। आज आईटीआर फाइलिंग का प्रोसेस पहले से कहीं ज्यादा सरल और तेज है। पहले सीए की मदद के बिना आईटीआर फाइल करना मुश्किल होता था। आज आप कुछ ही समय के भीतर खुद ही ऑनलाइन आईटीआर फाइल कर पा रहे हैं और रिटर्न फाइल करने के कुछ ही दिनों में रिफंड आपके अकाउंट में भी आ जाता है। फेसलेस असेसमेंट स्कीम की टैक्स पेयर्स को परेशानियों से बचा रही है। गवर्नेंस में एफिशिएंसी से जुड़े ऐसे अनेक रिफॉर्म्स ने दुनिया को एक नया गवर्नेंस मॉडल दिया है। साथियों, पिछले 10-11 साल में भारत हर सेक्टर में बदला है, हर क्षेत्र में आगे बढ़ा है और एक बड़ा बदलाव सोच का आया है। आजादी के बाद के अनेक दशकों तक भारत में ऐसी सोच को बढ़ावा दिया गया जिसमें सिर्फ विदेशी को ही बेहतर माना गया। दुकान में भी कुछ खरीदने जाओ तो दुकानदार के पहले बोल यही होते थे, भाई साहब लीजिए ना, ये तो इंपोर्टेड है। आज स्थिति बदल गई है। आज लोग सामने से पूछते हैं, भाई मेड इन इंडिया है या नहीं है। साथियों, आज हम भारत की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग एक्सेलेंसी का एक नया रूप देख रहे हैं। अभी 3-4 दिन पहले ही एक न्यूज आई है कि भारत ने अपनी पहली एमआरआई मशीन बना ली है। अब सोचिए, इतने दशकों तक हमारे यहां विदेशी एमआरआई मशीन ही नहीं थी। अब मेड इन इंडिया एमआरआई मशीन होगी तो जांच की कीमत भी बहुत कम हो जाएगी। साथियों, आत्मनिर्भर भारत और मेक इन इंडिया अभियान ने देश के मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेक्टर को एक नई ऊर्जा दी है। पहले दुनिया भारत को ग्लोबल मार्केट कहती थी, आज वही दुनिया भारत को एक बड़े मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हब के रूप में देख रही है। ये सक्सेस कितनी बड़ी है, इसके उदाहरण आपको हर सेक्टर में मिलेंगे। जैसे हमारी मोबाइल फोन इंडस्ट्री है। 2014-15 में हमारा एक्सपोर्ट $1 बिलियन तक भी नहीं था, लेकिन एक दशक में हमने $20 बिलियन के फिगर से भी आगे निकल चुके हैं। आज भारत ग्लोबल टेलीकॉम और नेटवर्किंग इंडस्ट्री का एक पावर सेंटर बनता जा रहा है। ऑटोमोटिव सेक्टर की सक्सेस से भी आप अच्छी तरह परिचित है। इससे जुड़े कंपोनेंट्स के एक्सपोर्ट भी भारत में एक नई पहचान बना रहे हैं। पहले हम बहुत बड़ी मात्रा में मोटरसाइकिल पार्ट्स इंपोर्ट करते थे, लेकिन आज भारत में बने पार्ट्स यूएई और जर्मनी जैसे अनेक देशों तक पहुंच रहे हैं। सोलर एनर्जी सेक्टर ने भी सफलता के नए आयाम गढ़े। हमारे सोलर सेल्स, सोलर मॉड्यूल का इंपोर्ट कम हो रहा है और एक्सपोर्ट 23 गुना तक बढ़ गया है। बीते एक दशक में हमारा डिफेंस एक्सपोर्ट भी 21 गुना बढ़ा है। ये सारी अचीवमेंट्स देश की मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इकोनॉमी की ताकत को दिखाती है। ये दिखाती है कि भारत में कैसे हर सेक्टर में नई जॉब्स भी क्रिएट हो रही है। साथियों, TV9 की इस समिट में विस्तार से चर्चा होगी, अनेक विषयों पर मंथन होगा। आज हम जो भी सोचेंगे, जिस भी विजन पर आगे बढ़ेंगे, वो हमारे आने वाले कल को, देश के भविष्य को डिजाइन करेगा। पिछली शताब्दी के इसी दशक में भारत ने एक नई ऊर्जा के साथ आजादी के लिए नई यात्रा शुरू की थी और हमने 1947 में आजादी हासिल करके भी दिखाई। अब इस दशक में हम विकसित भारत के लक्ष्य के लिए चल रहे हैं और हमें 2047 तक विकसित भारत का सपना जरूर पूरा करना है। और जैसा मैंने लाल किले से कहा है, इसमें सबका प्रयास आवश्यक है। इस समिट का आयोजन कर टीवी 9 ने भी अपनी तरफ से एक पॉजिटिव इनिशिएटिव लिया है। एक बार फिर आप सभी को इस समिट की सफलता के लिए मेरी ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं। मैं टीवी 9 को विशेष रूप से बधाई दूंगा, क्योंकि पहले भी मीडिया हाउस समिट करते रहे हैं, लेकिन ज्यादातर एक छोटे से 5 स्टार होटल के कमरे में वो समिट होती थी और बोलने वाले भी वही, सुनने वाले भी वही, कमरा भी वही। टीवी 9 ने इस परंपरा को तोड़ा और ये जो मॉडल पेश किया है 2 साल के भीतर भीतर देख लेना, सभी मीडिया हाउस को यही करना पड़ेगा। यानी टीवी 9 थिंक्स टुडे, वो भाग्यों के लिए रास्ता खोल देगा। मैं इस प्रयास के लिए बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं आपकी पूरी टीम को। और सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि आपने इस इवेंट को एक मीडिया हाउस की भलाई के लिए नहीं, देश की भलाई के लिए आपने उसकी रचना की। 50,000 से ज्यादा नौजवानों के साथ एक मिशन मोड में बातचीत को जोड़ना, उनको मिशन से साथ जोड़ना और उसमें से जो बच्चे सिलेक्ट होकर के आए उनकी आगे की ट्रेनिंग की चिंता करना, ये अपने आप में बहुत अद्भुत काम है। मैं आपको बहुत बधाई देता हूं। जिन नौजवानों से मुझे यहाँ फोटो निकलवाने का मौका मिला है, मुझे भी होनहार लोगों के साथ मैं अपनी फोटो निकलवा पाया। मैं इसे अपना सौभाग्य मानता हूं दोस्तों कि आपके साथ मेरी फोटो आज निकली है। और मुझे पक्का विश्वास है कि सारी युवा पीढ़ी जो मुझे दिख रही है, 2047 में जब देश विकसित भारत बनेगा, सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिशियरी आप लोग हैं। क्योंकि आप उम्र के उस पड़ाव पर होंगे जब भारत विकसित होगा, आपके लिए मौज ही मौज है। आपको बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं। धन्यवाद।
आप सभी लोगों से मैं कहूंगा एक बार जरा जोरदार तालियां हो जाएं, जिस तरीके से इस वक्त इस मंच पर प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने एक विजन स्टेटमेंट रखा। 2047 तक विकसित भारत का लक्ष्य। सोचा था आपने कभी कि हम इस तेजी से आत्मनिर्भर भारत की ओर बढ़ेंगे? आप सभी लोग, मैं चाहूंगा जरा सेटल डाउन कर जाएं। हमारे अगले मेहमान अब से कुछ क्षणों में इसी मंच पर आने वाले हैं। आप सभी लोग जरा सेटल डाउन कर जाएं।
Let's hear a cheer also for all the children over here, and especially from the children in this corner. A huge round of applause. कैसा लगा आपको फोटो खिंचा करके? All right, ladies
सभी
and
बच्चे जो
gentlemen.
यहाँ पर हैं ऊपर की तरफ मैं चाहूंगा आप सभी लोग बैठ जाइए. अभी there are more surprises in store.
Ladies and gentlemen, अगले 5 मिनट में हमारे साथ यूनियन मिनिस्टर नितिन गडकरी जी होने वाले हैं. वो ऑलरेडी हमारे साथ यहाँ पर है. प्लीज सेटल डाउन बिकॉज हमारे पास चेंज ओवर का टाइम नहीं होगा. अगर आप बाहर रह जाएंगे तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली यू विल हैव मिस्ड आउट ऑन दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी. सो वी विल बी शटिंग द डोर्स. प्लीज आप अपनी अपनी सीट्स पर बने रहिए.
Then that was the riveting and inspiring keynote summit address by the Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, gracing this occasion for the third time in a row.
सभी लोगों से मैं रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा सभी लोग अपनी जगह बैठ
And in
जाइए.
5 minutes from now, at least that's what we're picking up from the live telecast that we are beaming across to at least 5 different countries on a very global level. 5 minutes from now, the highwayman, the man behind the infrastructural growth of the country, Nitin Gadkari, the Union Minister, he's already in the premises. He's soon going to be gracing the occasion for his own tete-a-tete with, of course, the anchors and our team present.
Hello.
This is the TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit, kick-started by Prime Minister Modi, talking about the sustainability of our country, the launchpad that has been over the last 12 to 13 years, the Vikasit Bharat 2047 vision that he's laid out in front of those young kids who also got that fantastic opportunity of getting their pictures clicked with the Prime Minister.
People at the back, the youngsters whom we were interacting with, एक बार फिर से मौका मिलेगा आपके साथ इंटरैक्ट करने का. और कृष्णा, अब आप एक्साइटेड हैं क्योंकि पीएम के आने से पहले तो हमने ये इंटरैक्शन कर लिया, लेकिन अब जिस तरीके से इन्हीं अचीवर्स और अचीवमेंट्स को लेकर वो जिक्र करके गए हैं उस पर बात करना जरूरी है. तो प्लीज मैं आपसे रिक्वेस्ट करती हूँ,
Requesting all of you to please settle down, those at the back and at the front. Requesting all of you to settle down. I know it's been a blockbuster beginning to TV9 What India Thinks Today Summit. We have more dignitaries who will be addressing the summit. हमारे साथ होंगे.
हमारे साथ अब से थोड़ी देर में आपको लगता है अब सरप्राइजेस अनवेल कर देने चाहिए कि कौन खास मेहमान अब हमारे
एक दो
साथ
तो
है.
अनवेल कर सकते हैं.
हालांकि जिस तरीके से वीडी की एंट्री हुई थी, यानी विजय देवरगौड़ा की एंट्री हुई थी, उसमें युवाओं का जोश देखने लायक था. तो वो जोश बरकरार रहना चाहिए क्योंकि अब से थोड़ी देर बाद ये खास बातचीत इसी मंच पर वीडी के साथ होगी.
और film stars के अलावा we also have a very very special union minister who is going to be with us. We have union minister none other than Mr. Nitin Gadkari who is going to be with us. So requesting all of you to please settle down and take your seats.
और आप जानते हैं कृष्णा किस तरीके से पीएम की तरफ से भी व्हाट इंडिया थिंक्स टुडे और TV9 नेटवर्क जो कर रहा है उसका जिक्र किया गया है. तो उसके लिए मैं फिलहाल आपको बता दूं कि जिस तरीके से ये खास योगदान हमारे साथ इन सभी लोगों का रहा है उसके लिए मैं शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहूंगी.
All our sponsors.
Yes, and I really want to tell that what India thinks today. It was brought to you by India's oral health partner Sensodyne, powered by Srinidhi University, Tyndall the Light Within, our special partners HP Lubricants, Power to Perform, Radico Spirit of Excellence. I want you to also join me, Krishna.
Right, we also have Prabhuji Mithai or Namkeen, Tata Motors Intra Gold pickups.
So the first keynote summit is over, but let's take you back through it. Let's recycle some of those important quotations coming from the Prime Minister. Here's the Prime Minister talking about how this event executed by the TV9 network was a grand one, and we have set a new precedent. Take a listen.
इस समिट का आयोजन कर TV9 ने भी अपनी तरफ से एक पॉजिटिव इनिशिएटिव लिया है। एक बार फिर आप सभी को इस समिट की सफलता के लिए मेरी ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं। मैं TV9 को विशेष रूप से बधाई दूंगा, क्योंकि पहले भी मीडिया हाउस समिट करते रहे हैं, लेकिन ज्यादातर एक छोटे से 5 स्टार होटल के कमरे में वो समिट होती थी और बोलने वाले भी वही, सुनने वाले भी वही, कमरा भी वही। TV9 ने इस परंपरा को तोड़ा और ये जो मॉडल पेश किया है, 2 साल के भीतर भीतर देख लेना सभी मीडिया हाउस को यही करना पड़ेगा। यानी TV9 थिंक्स टुडे वो भाग्यों के लिए रास्ता खोल देगा। मैं इस प्रयास के लिए बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूं आपकी पूरी टीम को। और सबसे बड़ी खुशी की बात है कि आपने इस इवेंट को एक मीडिया हाउस की भलाई के लिए नहीं, देश की भलाई के लिए आपने उसकी रचना की। 50,000 से ज्यादा नौजवानों के साथ एक मिशन मोड में बातचीत करना, उनको जोड़ना, उनको मिशन से साथ जोड़ना, और उसमें से जो बच्चे सिलेक्ट होकर के आए उनकी आगे की ट्रेनिंग की चिंता करना, ये अपने आप में बहुत अद्भुत काम है। मैं आपको बहुत बधाई देता हूं। जिन नौजवानों से मुझे यहाँ फोटो निकलवाने का मौका मिला है, मुझे भी खुशी हुई कि देश के इस होनहार के साथ मैं अपनी फोटो निकलवा पाया। मैं इसे अपना सौभाग्य मानता हूं दोस्तों कि आपके साथ मेरी फोटो आज निकली है। और मुझे पक्का विश्वास है कि सारे युवा 2047 में जब देश विकसित भारत बनेगा, सबसे ज्यादा बेनिफिशियरी आप लोग हैं। क्योंकि आप उम्र के उस पड़ाव पर होंगे जब भारत विकसित होगा, आपके लिए मौज ही मौज है।
Now, of course, the Prime Minister did speak about the solar power projects, our sustainability, about how when India thinks, the world ends up listening. But apart from that, like you just heard, he said how the TV9 network has set that new precedent of how on a grandest scale a conclave, a summit like this can be executed. It used to happen in very small rooms at various banquet halls across 5-star hotels, but this time around the venue, the setup is the Grand Bharat Mandapam with all those LED screens that you can see. Is almost like a small little stadium. So the Prime Minister says it himself that it's the same people that are talking, it's the same people that are listening, but this time around school students are part of the crowd. We've asked for other dignitaries to join as well, and just like the Prime Minister put it, we're doing this not for our own growth, but to understand and decode the growth of the country for everybody who's joining us, not just at the Bharat Mandapam with 3,000 seats, they were all full during that keynote summit speech address, but also for all the global audience that is watching this right now as we speak, beaming across to at least 5 different countries and the length and breadth of this country as well. The first keynote speech, it's almost done. Now the entertainment is going to in fact begin. We've got some of those big names. I'm not sure if I can give you that spoiler or not, but tune in and watch on News 9 to bring you all the latest from Bharat Mandapam. He did talk about how the Enforcement Directorate and all the central agencies are being targeted. But then again, he does quickly take a shift and talks about how the Make in India ambitions, the Made in India, the Made in Bharat ambition is being promoted, how the taxpayer today is being respected, and that this is a summit not just for the News 9 network, for the TV9 network, but for the entire country at large. He did talk about the vision 2047 of the Vikasit Bharat and laid it out in front of all the students, the kids, the selected Indian tigers and tigresses, all of them that were present over there, saying that at 2047, you will be at the anvil of change. You will be able to reap the right kind of benefit for all that is being done today is for the future generations. Take a look at that. The 28 selected Indian tigresses and the tigers from 50,000 different registrations across 15,000 schools with 8 different locations, 10,000 kids being shortlisted, and from that only the final 28 remain getting this photo opportunity. And the Prime Minister, of course, he says that this wasn't an opportunity for the kids and the selected future stars of football of the country to get a picture with me. It was my opportunity. It was actually an honor for me. This is what the Prime Minister's modest statement looked like. He said, it was my opportunity to speak with them, to get a photograph clicked with these young budding superstars of tomorrow. This is a mission that News 9 has taken up. It's India's biggest talent hunt. We've selected about 28 kids from more than 50,000 registrations. That's right, 50,000 plus registrations, only 28 selected for the best training that's going to take place in Europe, in Austria, with our partners in Austria, Riespo, Striker Labs, the German Football Institute, the India Football Center, and of course our youth development partner, Bundesliga giant VfB Stuttgart. 2 or 4 of these kids are also going to be handpicked for a special training session in Germany as well. What a great opportunity to help and push their dreams of a footballing career and future, to play for the Men in Blues, for Team India, for all of that to take flight. And whilst we're talking about these kids, some dreams, like I've been mentioning, are born at home, nurtured by those who believe in us the most. And for Akshita Swami, one of those selected Indian tigresses, football isn't just a sport, it's in her blood. Inspired by her father, trained under his guidance, she's now preparing to take her talent to Austria, like I've been mentioning, where she will train with some of the world's best. Here's a glimpse of what her story looks like. Take a look, and we'll again come back to the grand occasion at Bharat Mandapam. For Akshita Swami, football isn't just a game, it's a legacy. Inspired by her father, she's turning her dreams into reality, one goal at a time. In Gurugram to the global stage, Akshita has been trained under the watchful eyes of her biggest mentor, her father. Hours of training, countless challenges. Akshita's passion has never wavered. Now, her dedication has earned her an opportunity, an incredible one. She is one of the select few heading to Austria through the News 9 hunt for Indian tigers and tigresses, where she will train with Europe's best, sharpen her game for the future. With Austria ahead, she is ready to push her limits, make her mark, and take her football career to new heights. Well, all right then, we're going to slip into a quick commercial breather here, but the grand occasion of Bharat Mandapam, the TV9 What India Thinks Today, all those exclusive content continues to play out right here on News 9 and across our mediaverse as well. A quick commercial breather here, but don't go anywhere.
वर्मा जी बस 2 घंटे में हो जाएगा।
सर बस आधा घंटा।
अब फिनोलेक्स वायर्स लगाओगे तो यही होगा।
जब 75% एक्स्ट्रा लोड उठाएगी सारी दुनिया आ जाएगी। नो स्ट्रेस, फिनोलेक्स।
News 9 Indian Tigers and Tigresses, the ultimate hunt for India's future football stars. A vision to make India a footballing powerhouse. The journey of young champions begins. The journey kicked off in Delhi with international football legends and young dreamers.
The winner is first born in the mind, and then you have to have an intent to win. Indians want to win.
8 scouting camps, 50,000 registrations, 10,000 selected, only 32 remain. A true search for India's best. From the heart of India's villages to the grand stage of Europe, their journey is nothing short of extraordinary. With Riespo and our partners in Austria, these young talents will train under the best European coaches, preparing for the global stage.
First of all, he scored a goal.
4 of these players will get the golden opportunity to visit VfB Stuttgart, our official partner, and train under Bundesliga standards. An honor like no other, the chance to meet Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The journey of a lifetime begins March 30th.
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. The Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwalas.
Light, camera and action. Kick back, relax, grab your favorite snack because News9 is here with your weekend dose of entertainment. It's time to take a deeper dive into the buzzworthy happenings of the entertainment world. From celebrity gossips to exclusive conversations, from nostalgic moments to News9's pick of the week, don't worry, we've got you covered here. And I hope you've grabbed your popcorn by now because News9's Page 3 is here to serve you everything that we call entertainment. So do stay tuned every Saturday and Sunday, 2:30 p.m.
What is To the Nines? In literal terms, it's perfection. But to us, it's not just a phrase, it's an attitude. One that starts at your desk and sends a statement to the world. To the Nines is about taking charge. It's a way of life where every scene, every fold, is crafted with excellence. It's timeless elegance and uncompromising quality made for the corner office. It's the ideas that inspire redefining order and elevating the tabletop. To the Nines, for the leaders of today and the visionaries of tomorrow.
It's not the fiefdom of politicians. They owe it to the people. Matter is now more about faith of the millions of devotees than just political slugfest. Does that mean that I can't get a job in Chennai, although I may be best suited for that particular job? They have more civic sense, they have more of civility than all these men. My name is Sudha Sadanand. Welcome to the South Indian.
History for a reason tonight.
Will it change the shape of American foreign policy? Violence has erupted in Manipur once again. How can we pass judgment, sir, before any inquiry that, they were volunteers or militants, sir?
Every brand tells a story. And they are the storytellers. The Sutradhars. They present a brand with band, baja and barat to you. They are the Brandwalas.
India's #1 news network. And you're watching News 9. English news as it should be.
Very good evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. You're watching News 9 and I'm Sriya Kundu this hour to bring you all the latest updates and the top stories of the day from across the nation and around the world. Well, we are beginning the bulletin. In fact, the top focus of this very bulletin remains to be the massive earthquake that struck Myanmar and Thailand. Thai authorities so far have declared a state of emergency in Bangkok after a strong earthquake of 7.7 magnitude struck central Myanmar on Friday morning. These are some of the visuals that we bring to you of the kind of catastrophe that has struck the very regions, with high-rise buildings being severely impacted as they could be seen collapsing into a mere heap of rubble in just a matter of seconds.